Yo, what is up, YouTube? Today we are going to be talking about should you pull for the following banners. We have the upcoming banners Hishi Amazon and the Bamboo Memory Power and Shinko Windy SR Speed card. Should you pull for them, or if you do pull for them, if you're new and you're pulling on these banners, what did you get, right? That's really what this video is all about, is explaining the sort of merits, the use cases for these cards, for these characters, if they're meta, if they're not, if you want to skip, if you want to whale, etc, etc. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So first we have Hishi Amazon. This is an end closer. I personally like her design a lot, so I'm going to be pulling for her. I always think you should pull for characters that you like more than pulling for a meta character. However, always keep in mind what the timeline is looking like. If you are looking for like the next big pull, I think that helps put things into perspective. It's not going to be the upcoming El Condor. It's not going to be Fuji Kiseki, though I'm going to be pulling for her myself personally. It's not going to be Gold City. It's going to be the Summer Marzensky, which is going to be coming up in probably next month. I guess 4 or 6 weeks, let's say, right? So that is the sort of context, right? Summer Marzensky is definitely a very, very big pull, a very big character coming up. But if you like Hishi Amazon, I definitely think you should pull for her. She has 20% power growth, 10% guts is like whatever. And she mostly excels, I think personally, in medium distance tracks, though you could also make a case for her in mile. What does she have on her kit? What makes her sort of, what are her strong points, right? Unyielding, Sturmdrang, these aren't very good skills. They're basically the gold versions of Steadfast and Masterful Gambit, respectively. They're not very good. However, she does have access to end closer straightaways and end closer corners innately on her kit if you do raise her potential to level 4. So I definitely think she has like some strengths about her, right? You also have her unique skill, You and Me one-on-one. This is a skill, a velocity skill that activates basically on the final straight when she is passing another runner. She also needs to be in 4th position or behind, right, in CM, or I guess the 40th percentile. Where does this work? What tracks does she really work well in? Well, if you take a look at the, I guess, JP umamusume meta, in general, it's where her unique skill is going to be most powerful. And so the first track where she's going to be really nice on is going to be the Tokyo race course, 2,000 meter. And I believe you could see why. It's if the final straight is kind of like well into the late race, like you have some room for the late race to kick up your acceleration and the straight is long enough, that is where her unique skill sort of shines, right? You could also see this with the upcoming courses, which interestingly enough, the other courses where she does decently well in, right, is going to be in dirt races. So she does have an E affinity for dirt surfaces, but if you are able to raise it, you have long straights here, right? You have long straights here. So this is a 2-lap course. You have a lot of distance here to build up that acceleration for this final straight. And if her final straight, if she's able to hit all her conditions, get that velocity boost towards the finish line, that's really her ideal use case. This is the Oi race course. It's a dirt 2,000 meter track. This is the Oi race course, 1,800 meter, also dirt, right? And you have Kawasaki 2,100 meter. You have Kawasaki 1,600 meter dirt. So this is the only mile distance track here. But every time you see these tracks, you can see that basically for the final straight, right? It's deep into, or rather, it gives you already have the acceleration going in, right? So this is where the late race starts, right? So as long as you have the room to get your acceleration to reach that top speed and you have like a long enough straight for the velocity, that's where Hishi Amazon's unique skill kind of works out. Basically an Oshi pick. Should you pull for her? Not really, unless you like her. That's really the bottom line. Next up, you have the upcoming banner. This is going to be the Bamboo Memory and Shinko Windy banner. Okay. And what you have over here is the SR speed card, and as well, you have the SSR power card. let's talk about Bamboo Memory first, because I think it's fairly easy to talk about her. The long story short about Bamboo Memory is that she's a pretty poor card. If you do play her, very likely you are borrowing a max limit break version of her. And as a card, she's kind of interesting. She doesn't have any specialty priority, so she's like a roaming power card. And she has 15% training effectiveness, which is pretty nice for a roaming card. But despite that, she doesn't have any mood effect, so she's missing one training effectiveness sort of multiplier, right? Her race bonus is kind of whatever. You have a skill point bonus though, which is nice, right? And what she really excels in though is the hints that she gives. Okay, level 3 and 40%. She's not really a parent card, I would say. But if you are raising someone with Bamboo Memory, likely who you're raising is a mild distance late surger sort of Uma. You have straightaway adept, mild straightaways, late surger straightaways. That's 3 velocity skills on straightaways you have, right? I wouldn't pick up acceleration or gap close or target inside. It's very situational. But notably, what Bamboo Memory has is Rising Dragon. This is a gold velocity skill for late surgers that's pretty much exclusive on Measure Orion, if I'm not mistaken. So there you have it right there, Outer Swell. This is a pretty good, the very, very good late surger skill, especially for the upcoming Cancer Cup, right? She also has standard distance. Funny enough, she has a purple skill that she give you that's on her second sort of chain event on the top option. That you could have a bad roll and get running idle, which is really bad. But you have, again, Rising Dragon as an access and standard distance. So if you do run Bamboo Memory, it's probably if you're borrowing from some whale and you are trying to raise specifically a late surger mild distance runner. So Measure Orion, maybe, I guess you want to get more extra hints, but probably someone who doesn't have Rising Dragon innately on their kit. As far as like, is she a reason to pull for this banner? The answer is a resounding no. She's a very not good card at 0 limit break and max limit break. Yeah, it's like you're not gonna whale. She's not that great of a card to whale for either, right? But if you borrow her, late surger mild distance runner might be cool. The other card to talk about is the Shinko Windy SR speed card. Now this card is actually really good. If you take a look at the comparisons here, she has 37.5% as friendship bonus for her training sort of boosts, right? 5% training effectiveness, which is great. Mood effect is 30, so she has very good stat stick multipliers, okay? You could compare her to Sweep Tosho. You have 7.5% more over here, though she has 5% more training effectiveness, right? Mood effect, 10% is a super negligible difference. King Halo, though, you have 17.5 on that friendship bonus, right? Mood effect is the same, and training effectiveness is the same. So she's a really good stat stick. I mean, King Halo is a good stat stick. Shinko Windy is definitely a good one, too. Her specialty priority is a little lower than some of her peers, but it's not bad. Or rather, what makes Shinko Windy really nice, or what context she is really good in, is the upcoming Make a New Track scenario, right? The third scenario for umamusume is going to be Make a New Track. It's very race focused. You're incentivized to do a lot more races. And what you notice here, what Shinko Windy has over her peers, is she has 10% race bonus, which is very, very valuable for any scenario that focuses on races. Short, that is Make a New Track. So also initial speed. Initial speed is also very good for a race-focused scenario because speed is very important to winning these races. So Shinko Windy is a fantastic SR card, speed card that really goes up in relevance as we get later and later into umamusume. She has wet conditions, which is good for Cancer Cup. Prepared to pass. I'm pretty sure this is a bad skill. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay for Cancer Cup. Otherwise, it's pretty situational, right? It's pretty expensive. Hesitant Frontrunners is nice, for sure. And as far as these go, Unyielding Spirit is a very good skill for Cancer Cup. It is very cheap and very effective for what its cost is. It's also pretty consistent as well. You also have Shifting Gears, which is okay. But Shinko Windy, long story short, very good SR speed card. Okay, very, very good. Is it a reason to pull for the banner? No. All cards will return to the standard pull, or basically there's no limited like pull for this card, right? You can always have a chance to get Shinko Windy after her banner ends in every other subsequent banner, right? So is it a reason to wail for this banner? No. But if you are starting off a new account, right? If you are starting off a new account, I do think that this banner has some merit. Like, yes, you have a chance of getting Bamboo Memory, which is not very good. But getting Maximum Break Shinko Windy is very nice to have early on. So if you're just starting out, I would say for sure, like, re-rolling on this banner is not the worst thing. Silent Suzuka re-rolling on the banner is like, okay. And that's like, if you're really wanting to raise like front runners, I think this one's a little more realistic. You could get this SR card. But yeah, as far as like wailing for this banner, or if it's like a great reroll banner, the answer is no, for sure not. But yeah, those are my thoughts on these upcoming banners right here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like and sub if you guys appreciate this content. If you learned something, use code MAMBO for 10% off your gamer subs. I'm out, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.